We've actually done 10 Poundland specials. 10 videos where I've taken a look at all kinds of cheap and nasty tat to look at. Some stuff hasn't even come from Poundland, some of it's come from Pound World, some of it's come from 99p stores, some of it's not even cost £1, some of it's cost a little bit more, a little bit less. Who cares? We just like to point at the funny things and have a foolish titter. So let's do that for the 10th time. Roll the footage. We've already covered the sheer number of dodgy looking ninjas, fake wrestlers and Transformer knockoffs that Poundland specialise in. I've also previously taken a look at the sheer number of cheapo DVDs that Poundland seem to keep getting. Some of these DVDs are actually quite good, whilst others aren't even worth the paper that the inlay card was printed on. But one other thing that Poundland can't seem to get enough of, and that's party gear. If you want to party, then go to Poundland, because then you can adorn your facial features with one of these free beautiful masks. Now this first one is a dinosaur mask. Not a dinosaur face mask as you probably expect, but an entire dinosaur, which looks somewhat strange and peculiar. Mainly because it only has 3 legs, and that its eyes are pointing in opposite directions to each other, and that different bits appear to be sticking out of him. Actually, do you know what this is? This is a dinosaur that's clearly been squashed underfoot by a much bigger dinosaur. And you can wear that on your face. Great. And if the thought of wearing a small dead dinosaur across your face wasn't enough, then how about this American-style yellow school bus? Yeah, you can wear a bus on your face. I'm not too sure what the purpose of that is, to be honest. You've got a face like the back of a bus? Well, no, it's the front of a bus, actually. Oh, and both of these masks glow in the dark, so you can draw even more attention to the fact that you're waving either a dead dinosaur or a school bus across your face, even when the party goes indoors. Well done there. But even these masks are still better than option number 3, which is a celebrity face mask. Which celebrity? I have no idea. During Halloween, Poundland got quite a number of these celebrity face masks, including Alan Carr, Bruce Forsyth, Justin Bieber, Anton Deck. These were all sold rather quickly, and all that's left now is this chap. And I've no idea who he is. Seriously, is he a character from a soap opera? Is he someone from one of those god-awful reality TV shows? Who is he? Why would you wear a face mask of a celebrity that no one knows? You may as well just take a photo of your own face, print it out and wear that as a mask. Okay, let's go on to the DVDs now, because just in case you were one of those people that went out and bought the obvious Kung Fu Panda knockoff, that is Chop Kick Panda, you'll be pleased to see there's a knockoff of Happy Feet out there as well called Tippy Toes. He's winging it! Oh, what a terrible tagline. It makes me want to go out and burn every single available copy. Also, you'll likely be aware of who Iron Man is. Chances are you might have recently been to the cinema to watch Iron Man 3. But despite his success on the big screen, Iron Man has never really had a decent showing when it comes to a Saturday morning cartoon, like Spider-Man, Batman or the X-Men. The Iron Man cartoon shown in the 90s during the Marvel Action Hour may very well have come from a decade earlier, what with its dodgy animation, limp storylines and flat characterisation. But at least it was fairly accurate to the source material. Unlike this Iron Man Armoured Adventures DVD, which contains the entire first, and to my knowledge only, season, across on a 2-disc set for a mere £1. Why exactly does Iron Man Armoured Adventures fall flat on its face? It's for one simple reason. They turned Tony Stark into a fucking teenager. Why? 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 If you want a teenage superhero, then you've got Spider-Man, or some of the younger members of the X-Men, but not Tony Stark. Do you really think that they could have explored his problems with being an alcoholic in this cartoon? I doubt it. Unless, of course, there's an episode on this DVD where he has a bottle of White Lightning behind a skip. Finally, for the DVD section of Poundland, we've got Kill Keith, a low-budget mishmash of slapstick, minor celebrities and splatterific gore. Anyone who still has painful memories of Naked Jungle will be pleased to hear that, thankfully, it doesn't contain a naked Keith Chegwin this time. And although Joe Pasquale gets brutally murdered at one point, this is still a movie to avoid at all costs. Unless, of course, you wish to see Vanessa Feltz spin force-fed porridge until she explodes. Okay, let's go on to the bread and butter of these Poundland specials, the toys. First up, we've got the Mythical Creatures, a collection of small action figures that are monstrous for all the wrong reasons. Oh God, your face! What's wrong with your face? These really should have been put in one of those mystery bag, blind bag thingies. At least then it would be a surprise as to which disappointing lump of plastic loosely in the shape of an action figure you'd be getting. Speaking of blind bags, here's the Predasaur's DNA Fusion Collection. Each one contains a dinosaur that has more teeth than the entire Osmond family and carries a weapon. These are called micro Predasaurs, so I assume there's some larger ones out there. More blind bags here for all sorts of franchises, including Moshi Monsters, Angry Birds and Peppa Pig, but these are really lazy efforts. Rather than just giving you a rather cheap and nasty rubber toy or plastic toy, you instead get a couple of lumps of plasticine so you can just make your own. It's almost like, fuck it, we can't be bothered to make you a toy, so just bloody do it yourself. Yes folks, sometimes Poundland get actual official licensed goods, but sometimes these are just as bad, if not worse, than some of the bootlegs out there. Next up, we've got these action figures from Shaman King, which, from what I can gather, was an anime comic book, which was then turned into an animated series and later a series of video games, trading cards and other merchandise, including these toys. Now they're in Poundland, so I think it's safe to say that the franchise has had its day. First up, we've got a serious looking bloke with a sword and what appears to be angel wings on his back and a purple sea urchin growing out the top of his head. You want to get that looked at, mate. Then we've got this wee little chap who seems puzzled as to why exactly he's holding a pair of nunchucks. What am I supposed to do with these? Then we've got this scary looking guy with red eyes and a big helmet. He looks pretty good actually, it won't surprise me if he's the main baddie. And then finally we've got this poor lassie that appears to be missing half of her face, which is quite disturbing, although she seems to be quite relaxed about the whole thing. Also on the shelves of Poundland are these egghead figures that appear to be modelled after characters from Transformers. Basically you can take all the various bits and pieces off and mix and match them with other characters in the series. Mr. Potato Head have already done something similar to this, and these eggheads are basically nothing but smaller versions of these. But at least the Mr. Potato Heads made some effort with the names of their toys, like Optimash Prime. Yeah, that's funny, that makes sense, but with this, Bumble Egg. You're not even fucking trying, are you? Does anyone remember Polly Pocket? Basically, it was a toy line of pocket-sized dolls and accessories that first started in the early 80s. Well, it looks like Polly Pocket is still going today, although the toy line has taken a rather more sinister route with these things called Cutants. Cutants. These are mutants that are cute. Basically, Polly Pocket has gone a little bit crazy and she started to perform evil genetic experiments on harmless animals, like this pig and this, skunk. And she's turned them into household objects like a camera and a calculator. What? And this is actually some sort of official licensed product from Polly Pocket? Who thought this was a good idea? Also in Poundland and Pound World, they've started doing, they've started actually selling the Star Trek figures from the 2011 J.J. Abrams film. Now I'm really surprised that they haven't just simply repackaged these for Star Trek Into Darkness, but apparently not, because they are now languishing in the shelves of Poundland and Pound World, and with good reason as well, because despite the fact that they actually cost lots of money, they're actually rubbish. First of all, we have Dr. McCoy. Now I'm joined here by Little Daddy E for this particular section. Is it me, or does Dr. McCoy look Asian here?
Yeah, we do look rather Asian, kind of stereotypically Asian, that is. And I think we're also wearing the wrong colour uniform.
That is the least of these figures' problems, I think. Moving on, we have James Tiberius Kirk, who
again has got the old sort of looks Chinese for some reason, and it looks somewhat surprised, as if he's just walked in and caught Commander Pike with his trousers round his ankles.
Well,
in fact, he's probably in surprise because he's walked in and caught Commander Pike here, who appears to be wearing mascara.
why?
Which probably explains why Kirk was looking so surprised in the last picture.
He also has yellow skin.
Yes, again,
He's a Simpson.
a regular occurring thing. Then we have Lieutenant Uhura here.
Who has way too much makeup on from the looks of it.
Yes, and appears almost cat-like in her face, which is somewhat odd. Moving on, we have Leonard Nimoy. Well, this isn't Leonard Nimoy, is it? This is the Zachary Quinto. They did have the Leonard Nimoy Spock as part of the toy range, but for some reason that wasn't in Poundland and Poundworld. Perhaps that was the only one that sold. This is probably the closest one that actually resembles the person that it's supposed to be, so it does look a little bit like Zachary Quinto.
However, one of their hands appears to be permanently in a Vulcan salute pose.
Yes.
They can never take it out.
That's it. So he's permanently going to be doing that, which is weird. Okay, then we have Sulu here, who has one eyebrow thicker than the other.
His cheeks are quite chubby.
His cheeks are chubby, and his eyes appear to be somewhat different from each other as well. And again, okay, he looks Asian, that's fine. He's actually the only character here that's supposed to look Asian, that's supposed to look Chinese. But again, he looks somewhat about him. As if he's seen Commander Pike with mascara. It's like, nothing new there. We have Chekhov. Again,
he looks a bit derpy.
He looks, yeah, he does actually, doesn't he? I'm going to say he does look a bit like the person that plays him in the film, but at the same time he does look a bit derp.
Derp.
Again, yellow skin. And then we have Nero. Yes, that's right, we only have one baddie in the entire set, so you basically got loads of Starfleet guys and only one baddie.
He looks relatively decent. He also appears to be the only character who doesn't have bright yellow skin.
Yeah, that's weird. And you would have thought that if they were going to give anyone bright yellow skin, it would be the guy that's a Romulan, you know, an alien type person. But, yeah.
Okay.
And then last but by no means least, this is supposed to be Simon Pegg, i.e. Scotty.
It looks absolutely nothing like Simon Pegg.
Not a damn thing like Simon Pegg. If Simon Pegg, if I bought that expecting it to be Simon Pegg, I'd be wanting my money back. Absolutely dreadful. Here's something else that might interest you, little Daddy E. Gore Mitty stuff in Poundland. Now I know a few years back you were sort of into Gore Mitty, weren't you?
The blind bag things, anyway. I've ever made a TV show out of it or something, and it got really rubbish.
So I think the fact that they're in Poundland would now say that this franchise has come to an end. Like Shaman King, really.
I've also only just noticed that all of the characters are literally wearing thongs.
Yeah, that is quite disturbing.
Yeah.
What else have we got? Oh yes, we've got some dodgy-looking wrestlers called luchadors, even though none of them's wearing masks. And this guy's going, hey, buy this. It's the worst paint job in the world. This guy appears to have had iron abs. Yes.
Iron abs.
This guy looks like Chris Bedwell, that guy we're not supposed to talk about. There's all kinds of bits of rubbish that they've been bundled with. Horrible plastic chairs and ladders. Oh, and the wrestling ring
is rectangular.
And it's got a bit missing for the wrestlers to climb in and out of.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, horrible, cheap plastic rubbish. And then we've got a crawling army man. An army man whose plastic face appears to have melted in the sun at some point. Lovely.
You really can't use it for anything else, to be honest.
What other army people have we got? Oh yes, soldier police. Is he a soldier or is he a police officer? Neither, because he appears to be a freaking zombie. He's got guns that are too big. Oh, and he appears to be carrying some cannabis with him as well. Fair enough. He's got guns that are far too big for his hands to hold. He's a freedom fighter. This guy fighting for my freedom. He's after me brains. We've got another horrible looking police figure here. He's all horrible and plastic and hollow, which means he's very brittle and will probably shatter to 1,000 pieces, and the sharpened bits of plastic will no doubt pierce someone's flesh.
And unsurprisingly, he's made by Fantastic.
Oh yes it is, it's our old friends at Fantastic. Look at that face, that's a face.
That's the face of a killer.
And Not surprised, he has a gun, but his gun is far too small for his giant hands to hold.
But it's also incredible. Also, relative to the guy's size, that is the smallest gun I've ever seen. It's more like a pistol.
Right, we're going to finish off with some girls' toys now. We've got
Why?
this fairy tale castle.
Which isn't really much of a castle because 2 people can literally sit in it, and it's more like a hut.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I should point out the dragon that's pictured on the front of it, where its eyeballs look like they're about to explode out of its skull.
It appears to be a Chinese dragon with like the whiskers, but it's also a European dragon because of how it works, and it's covered in.
It's a stoner dragon.
And it's also got love hearts.
And let's go on to the figures themselves. Oh God, your face! What's happened to your face?
Oh dear God! Is that meant to be the prince?
That is meant to be Prince Charming. Yes, there's absolutely nothing charming at all about this.
He also looks absolutely nothing like a prince.
Oh, and by the way, look at his crotch down there. I'd say that the cloth around his nutsack is too tight.
Oh God! They've
And,
actually sculpted a boner onto a little kid's top.
Indeed. And if you think he looks bad, what about the princess?
Oh dear God! Kill it with fire!
That's okay. I didn't need to sleep tonight anyway.
Why?
Oh, I should point out as well, you'll notice there's some little hinges here on the side of the castle. So obviously this castle used to belong to a bigger playset, and they've obviously just nicked the sculpt from that and made their own cheap knockoff version. Bad, fantastic, bad. Oh, by the way, the plastic edges are quite sharp as well, so yeah, that's good to have for the kids, isn't it?
Yes. Could be somebody's retinas with it.
And then we have this play microwave, so it's bright pink, naturally, because it's for a girl. Cooking play set, and inexplicably it has the word chicken written inside.
It's the most sexist microwave ever.
Yes, because women do all the cooking, don't they? You see, but, you know, I mean, there's boys who like to play with cooking stuff, you know, they first start off. But yeah, for some reason it has the word chicken written inside, which sort of reminds me of Tekken 3, really.
Chicken. 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 Chicken.
Chicken. No, just in case you couldn't tell what the hell it was.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, it's all horrible and cheap and plastic and rubbish and
possibly incredibly sharp. So yeah.
Yeah. So
Did you get anything to cook it?
yeah, that's another thing. I was expecting you to sort of maybe get like a plastic chicken to put in the oven so it'll say chicken, you know, but nothing. So yeah, horrible and cheap and rubbish.
You can cook your own hand to stop yourself from playing with it.
That's it. Right, that's it then for Poundland Special 10. So thank you for joining me for this last bit, Little Daddy E.
Yes then.
Right, and we will see you another time. Goodbye, everybody.
Wow.